Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different than what I normally do here. Typically I tend to talk about luxury handbags, shoes, fashion, unboxing videos, things like that. But today I wanted to do a bit of a different type of video because I felt like it'd be kind of interesting and some people may benefit from it if you're looking into getting lip injections, especially if you're a black girl looking into getting lip injections, because I was having kind of some trouble finding people's experiences that looked more like me. So I figured I'd make this video because maybe it'll be helpful to some of you guys. So first of all, I got lip filler almost a month ago now. Yeah, in a couple days it'll be a month ago. So I've had it within my last 5 or 6 videos at least, and no one's really commented saying that they could tell the difference, anything like that, or oh, have you had anything done? Did you change anything? Nobody said anything like that. I didn't really expect them to because I feel like it looks very natural, which I'm glad about actually. The reason it took me so long to actually make this video is because I was really hesitant on doing it in the first place. I was not going to do one. I was kind of dead set against it because what I did was I went through and I searched for black girls with getting lip filler videos on YouTube, or I searched on Twitter for just those words essentially, and mainly in the comments or people tweeting about it were just saying really negative things, and I just feel like it's the person's choice if they want to do something like that. It's your own choice. And I was just kind of discouraged of making a video just because of all the negative comments. And I'm not talking about the ones where they're oh, you didn't need that, you didn't need that, you looked great before, you look great after. Not those kind of comments. I'm talking about actual negative comments. On Twitter, people were talking about black girls getting lip fillers look like fools, they're stupid for doing that, all types of really negative stuff. And I was just super discouraged from making this video at all. But I also feel like I was looking for that type of content, so maybe somebody else can benefit from it. So in that case, I will deal with negative comments. At least it helps my engagement. So let's get started. I'm gonna show you guys a little clip of, this was actually the day before. This was just an Instagram story that I put up. It was the day before I got the lip filler, and really I was just messing around on Instagram. This was not to actually show my lips, but it just happens to show a good, a good comparison measure so that you guys can see kind of where I started from. That way maybe it'll help you get a little bit of idea of the difference. Or if you want to go back and click on any of the older videos, if you kind of want to see more of a reference and go back a little bit, you definitely can. I got one full syringe. I was originally thinking of doing a half syringe because my main goal was to even out my top lip with my bottom lip. I definitely did not hate what I looked like before. I think that everything was still pretty good. I just feel like this is a minor improvement that would make me happier with my lips in general. So I think that's such a misconception, especially because I already have a full bottom lip and I still didn't have the skinniest top lip or anything like that. I didn't hate the way that it was before. I just feel like this was a bit of an improvement. So that's why I did it first of all. So a little bit about what happens before. So as far as prepping for the day that you're actually getting the lip filler, in case you guys are interested, 2 days before they text me reminding me of my appointment, and also they let me know of things to avoid. So let me just find their text real quick because then I can tell you what it said. Okay, so the text that they sent me said, for the next 48 hours, we recommend that you avoid fish oil, ibuprofen, caffeine, alcohol, and any other blood thinning medication to help reduce your risk of bruising. So that was helpful. I didn't know that you had to avoid anything before you go in. I didn't know that that would help with bruising or anything like that. Kind of like getting a tattoo, I guess you'd say, you don't want to do anything like that before you get anything that's going to be done to, I guess, your face or your body. So next I'll talk about the day of the appointment. So of course, since we are in the time of COVID, I had to wear a mask and everything into the appointment. It's still kind of like a medical office. So when I went in, they had me fill out medical paperwork, just making sure they didn't have any pre-existing conditions, any signs of COVID-19, anything that could be potentially dangerous to keep on file there, just because I've never been there before. So I filled that out. It maybe took about 10 minutes. They had me just wait for a little bit. And then when I went back, the person who was going to do my filler, she just asked me a couple questions, essentially if I've had anything done like this before, if I've had any facial fillers or any lip fillers previously, and also what my main goals were. So I told her, like I said to you guys, I told her that I wanted to even out my top lip with my bottom lip. So a majority of the filler that she put in was in the top lip. So I did get a little bit in the bottom as well because I didn't want my bottom lip to look small now that I got the top lip done. But she ended up doing that, and that was it. I looked great. So I'm gonna show you guys the picture that they posted on their Instagram page. The place where I got my filler done is called ZONA Med Spa. It's in Scottsdale. It's either in Scottsdale or it's close to Scottsdale. So if you guys are in the Phoenix or Scottsdale area and you were looking to get filler done, they did a great job. I feel like they made me feel really comfortable, especially because it was my first time. So they were really great. And then this is a picture that they posted on their Instagram page. So that way you can kind of see the before and after of me. I will say that it looks different than it looks now. I feel like now that it's gone through the swelling process and then healing fully, and it's been, like I said, almost a month. I feel like it looks a little bit different. It looks a little bit more natural now than it did in the pictures. And also you couldn't really tell that much of a difference in the first place because, like I said, I already had a kind of full bottom lip. My lips weren't like very, very thin to begin with. So when I got the filler, it just added like a little bit of a natural plumpness, which is what I really, really liked. So that was me before and after. Those are the pictures that they posted on their Instagram, and that's their Instagram if you want to follow them as well to see any other pictures of any other comparisons, maybe something that you can relate to. The whole appointment process took maybe 15 minutes. It was very, very easy. And then they gave me a little ice pack. They told me to do like 15 minutes on and 15 minutes off. So I drove with like the ice pack inside of my mask on the way home. And then I like threw it back in the freezer when I got here because I live in Arizona and it's really hot, and the ice pack like melted immediately. So I just iced it for a little bit when I got home. And then they said for about 2 days, I'll have some swelling. I actually have a picture of the swelling too. So this is the following day. This picture was taken the following day, just to kind of show you how the swelling looked. I could tell that I was probably swollen for maybe like 3 to 4 days-ish, because now like my lips look quite a bit smaller than they did even a couple days after. So there were like a few Instagram pictures that I posted after that 24-hour period. And you can still tell that I feel like my top lip looks bigger than it does now. It kind of like went down a little bit more even after that. And they say that the whole healing process takes about 2 weeks in full. Like if you have any bruising, I thankfully did not have any bruising, so I didn't have to worry about that. But sometimes it can take up to 2 weeks, just to keep that in mind for you to kind of be at your normal point where you can tell like, okay, I feel like that's enough, or if you want more and all that. So essentially the healing process is very easy, like didn't hurt. The actual like needle going in, like when she put the needle in and like I could feel her like putting the filler in, that part hurt, but it wasn't to a point where it was like extremely painful or anything like that. It was maybe like a 4, maybe like a 3 out of 10, like maybe like a 3 out of 10, if that, because it just really wasn't super painful or anything. It was very, very quick, like I said. So really that part was not a major inconvenience. The healing process is not a major inconvenience. So I don't want you guys to be scared of that if you are. So that part was super easy. Now, as far as like how I feel about the results, one thing that I will say is that it's made me a lot more confident. At first, when the swelling went down, I was kind of concerned because I was like, okay, well, I don't see that big of a difference. So I had to go back and look at pictures of myself before to kind of like show myself like, okay, there is a difference. Once I kind of started like using more products too, like now I've been using lip liner, I've been using lip gloss. Those are things that I never used to do because I never like loved the way that my lips looked. So now that I started using that, I feel like it gave me like this confidence boost because it just feels different to me and it's exciting to me. I feel like it like changed a bit about the way that I carry myself. It's just the whole confidence thing, to be honest. For a lot of people, the results tend to last about 6 months, just depending on how like your body is, I guess, and like how long it takes for the filler to dissolve like within your body. But about 6 months is what they told me to expect as far as like kind of getting more filler or like going back to see like where you're at. So that's one thing to keep in mind too, that it doesn't last forever. It is something that's temporary and that you will have to go do again. So keep that in mind too. That's important to note. Also, I know that probably you guys are probably curious about price too. I did a full syringe. Like I said, it was $550. So it is kind of expensive. Like, especially if you're doing it every 6 months, it's kind of expensive. Like, you spend over $1,000 on like lips every year, at least. So that's kind of a lot, but yeah, that seems to be the standard price for a full syringe of filler. So just keep that in mind too, if you're going to want to continue maintaining it. If you feel like it's important to keep getting it every 6 months, just keep in mind to kind of like add that to your budgeting process if you have one. So yeah, I think that's helpful to note too. Now, the reason that I was specifically looking for videos on Black girls who had lip filler is just because a lot of times you already like see that they'll tend to have like a lot more fuller of a lip either on the top or on the bottom or both. And I wanted to make sure that it was going to look natural. Like, that's the best part about it, I think. And that's a part that I feel like people don't talk that much about. Like, if you have very, very thin lips and you don't have a shape to your lips already, that's when it's going to look a bit more unnatural. But when you already have a shape to your lips, kind of in the position like I was before, I had the shape to my lips, I just didn't have the fullness in the top, then it's going to end up looking really natural. And I think that that's like I think that's a great thing. And to be honest, I don't understand why a lot of people get so much hate. A lot of Black girls get so much hate for getting lip filler. Like, I don't get it, because it tends to look super natural. It tends to look great. And most of the time, nobody's even going to know that you got it because it looks normal, you know? And so like, even my friends, my close friends that I see all the time, they didn't notice unless I would tell them. So like, yeah, it gave me a confidence boost. I feel like overall it makes me look better, yes. But the people even that are close to me that see me all the time didn't notice. Like, I like FaceTime my family members that are super close to me. Nobody said anything, like, which is kind of cool, because you're like, okay, it looks natural, but also like I feel the difference. Like, I know the difference. Like, It makes me look cuter, and I can tell like side by side, I'm a lot more confident. It just made a big difference for me. Honestly, like I fully plan to continue to maintain the filler just because of the difference that it makes in my own confidence. And for $550, that's like some of the best $550 that I ever spent. Like it just makes me feel differently about myself. I was kind of thinking about getting a little bit more in the top lip, but now that I'm used to it and used to the way that it looks, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm just gonna wait until I go back in about 5 months now to kind of get, you know, kind of retouched, I guess you would call it. So overall, I think the experience worked out really well. Like I said, the people where I went were very, very nice. If you guys are in the area, I definitely recommend them. But yeah, overall, I just wanted to give you guys kind of my perspective of what happened, kind of walk you through the process so you guys can get a little bit more of an idea of what it's actually like. Oh yeah, one more thing that I wanted to mention too, like while I'm looking at the picture that they posted on their Instagram page, it does list out that the product that they used for mine was Versa, and I know that the price does vary for the different types of products. Like if you were to get Juvederm, it might be a different price. So that does play a factor into it as well. I just asked what they recommended, and that's the one that they recommended for me. So I was like, hey, you guys know better than I do. That's how I felt about it. So I don't know a ton about like what the difference actually is between those, but I know that they do have different prices. That's one thing that you'll want to check with wherever you go about, just to kind of see like how it's going to vary, what's the difference going to be, and all of that. So they'll be able to answer those questions for you. Now, I searched pretty hard on Instagram to find like some pictures, some before and afters of black girls getting lip filler. It was still hard, and even like where I went, there just weren't a lot of pictures of before and afters of like black girls that had gotten the filler, to see like kind of a comparison of what a half syringe looks like versus a full syringe. Like it was just hard like to see somebody that had like the same maybe lip shape or anything like that as me. So I feel like that was really difficult, and maybe that this video will help some of you guys that are in the same position. One other piece of advice that I have for you too, especially as a black woman getting lip filler, if people come to you with like negativity and all of that, like just keep in mind it's your body, it's something that's your choice, it's your face that you look at every single day, it's the body that you live in, and anyone that's coming at you with negativity, that's one thing. Like I totally understand people saying like, oh, you don't need it. Like no, I definitely feel like I didn't need it. That's for sure. Like I didn't feel like I needed it, but it is something it's an enhancement. That's exactly what it is, and it's something that makes me feel better about myself. It's something that I really like. Just don't listen to the negativity. I know it can be discouraging, especially like when you don't see a lot of people that look like you doing the same thing as you're doing. But I mean, if it's something that you want to do, go for it. Like this is something I've been wanting to do for the last 5 years. I have had this on my list, and I've been too nervous to do it because I was like, okay, I don't know how it's going to turn out. I was really nervous of like any type of like complications or like allergic reactions or something like that. That was what I was most concerned about. But it didn't help that I didn't see a lot of people that looked like me doing the same thing, where I could see like a before and after comparison. So yeah, if it's something that you really want to do, I say go for it, as long as you're being safe and you go to a place that is credible and that has a good reputation, so you can put safety first. Your health is always gonna be the most important thing. So please, please, please don't go to somebody that's just like, I don't know, like doing lip filler in the back of a van. Like I don't know why you would, but just don't do that, okay? I really hope that this video was helpful to someone. That's why I wanted to make it, like regardless of what people have to say. Like I just wanted to share the information that I have. Maybe it'll help you feel a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me. Like I said, normally I talk about designer bags, shoes, fashion, unboxing videos, all that good stuff. So this is a little bit of a different topic than what I normally talk about, but I have plenty more videos that you guys may enjoy. So feel free to subscribe. Also, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I'll put my Instagram right here. It is SwanXDawn, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.